Good evening and welcome to another show of your daily show achievements. Of course, I'm your host Fatma Al-Hajri, and today I'm joined with my colleague Abdul Latif. Good evening, Abdul Latif.
Good evening, Fatma, and as my colleague said, we are your hosts and we will take you through this episode, so stay tuned after this report.
A successful identity is built on things a person has done. Your most important accomplishments are a very important way for you to measure your success. Colleagues, competitors, and the general public can look at a person's achievements to figure out how successful they are. Most of the time, putting in a lot of work pays off. Most people think a successful life is one of a lot of things to be proud of. When you finish a task, you win over problems or other people. Achieve means to work together to reach a hard and challenging goal. Everyone should be ready to help out and work together if they need to. There are many ways to reach your goal, but in the end, it's up to you to decide how it will pay out in your life. In their careers, some people want to get rich and will be well known. Some people think that even small victories are reasons to have a party. We're all different, so we all have our own thoughts on everything. In the end, though, everyone wants to be happy, and everything you do in life will help you to get closer to that ultimate goal.
Welcome back, our viewers. Tonight we're having with us one of the most successful individuals in Kuwait. He is known as a long-distance runner. His achievements is not just in Kuwait, but all around Asia. Although his age is still young, yet he achieved a lot for himself and for his country. Please welcome with us the Kuwaiti champion, gold medalist, Mr. Abdulaziz Al-Harbi. Welcome, Abdulaziz, and thank you for being here with us at the show.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, and it's a privilege to get on the stage and to speak with you guys.
It's a pleasure to have you. Of course, we'd like to know more about your early steps into this passion. Can you tell us about it?
Well, it started off when I was young, growing up in a family with my dad being a sprinter, my uncle as well, especially my uncles too, my cousins, and growing up in a sports environment, going to play 3 or 4 times a week, it just gets you into a routine of playing and running and just not being in the house,
I think that's very important to have an athletic family such as your family to actually push you from a very young age to go out there and work out, run.
Motivate them also, motivate you to have some sports, because unfortunately at these days a lot of people and their kids are staying at house.
Being lazy.
Yeah, they have these home things.
I think it's with the video games nowadays, and I think
because of
TV
that.
shows sometimes.
I think for me personally, getting used to not staying in the house often, and just as a kid, just being outside helps you. When you grow up, it's doing sports or doing any activity just becomes easier. It's like second habit. It's just nature, because you have the foundations from when you were young, But
you're used to it. This is how you do. Your
exactly.
normal routine is like that. You don't prefer to sit home, just have a lazy day.
Of course, yeah.
And also, so do you have this family home background, and it's affected you, right? Can you tell us more about your home background? Not only your family, your cousins, your friends, and how they affected you to become a long sprinter and long runner.
Well, to be honest, for me personally, I started off playing football. I didn't start playing sprinting and long distance running until I was about 13 or 14 years old. So yeah, I used to play football with my friends. We just go outside and just play for hours and hours, and we just forget about the time. And then as I started to get older, my dad would just push me to tell him to go with him to training, because he used to be my coach, and he still is.
Oh, and, that's a special thing.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty nice. And so when I was 12 and 13, my dad just took me and just started practicing and working on me.
Of course, I think that's a very important point. So did you actually want to continue in football as a career, or your father just pushed you on sprinting and running and you just went with it?
Well, for me, growing up, me and my brother, he's older than me by about 2 years, we'd always play soccer, play football. So we always dream about, oh, when we grow up, we're gonna be like professional players. Oh, I'm gonna play for Katsia. Oh, I'm gonna play for Kazma, and it was just like that. So when my dad told me like, no, you have to stop playing football and you have to like come play sprinting because it's better for your future. You have a chance of making it. You know, it was very hard for me, to be honest, and I still watch my brother as he goes off to training, and it just hurts inside a little bit because
They play football?
yeah, like I also want to play, you know, like I don't want to really give up on my dream, but
I think your father saw the potential in
yeah.
you. Like he
Yeah.
can tell, like one of his sons is like really good at sprinting and running, and he saw a future for you in that career. So he pushed you forward in that career. I don't think you should regret anything because you're here with us today for this amazing
Yeah.
achievement.
of
Yeah.
course, yeah,
And
I
we're
have
very
no regret.
proud
we
to
we don't
have
have your
you.
brother.
Yeah,
No,
That's
hopefully
count.
we'll have him too.
Yeah, that's count, I think, right? Do you
yeah,
think
yeah.
so?
Of course, no, I don't have any regrets about it. I'm proud of where I am today, and thankfully, it's all thanks to him.
Yeah, but of course, it's a special thing that you have your father, to the person who coached you. But there's one thing I would love to know about, which is, you think, more fun for you, football or long sprinting?
To be honest, I'd say football, because of one reason. You know, football, you're playing with your friends, so it's just like it's a different environment. You know, it's different, better vibes. Because sprinting is just, it's more
Running.
endurance. Yeah, it's more tiring. It's more.
Sometimes get boring, so you
It
need
does,
to put
yeah.
your headset, listen to a sound book, or maybe to the radio.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
like imagine, like you go to practice, like your practice is just to run around. You know, it's.
Maybe if it was a different scenery every time, you wouldn't get like bored as much, probably.
Of course, yeah, that would help. No doubt, that would help. Yeah.
So we would love also to know about your first long distance run, and you have that experience, and we would love to know about that story.
Oh, it's a great story. It was terrible, to be honest. It didn't go how I thought it would, and definitely not how I planned. Starting off, you know, it's my first ever race. You know, I don't know like the race environment. You know, the vibes. Like I didn't have a pre-race routine like in football. Like I'd have like a pre-game routine. So it's like it was a lot of firsts for me, to be honest. And having my dad watch me in the stands and like my first ever race, like I kind of have like I have to live up to some like certain standards, you know, a certain level that I have to put for myself, especially my dad being like an ex-sprinter. So yeah, the race starts and I'm doing good, and then like when you get to like the 300-meter mark, and I just look around and I'm last place.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's okay. I mean, maybe there was something wrong, right, Fatma?
I
And
think
because
even
of that, yeah.
even if there was nothing wrong, like you gave it a shot, you tried, and
Of course.
that's the important
Yeah.
point here.
I mean, you started. I mean, you start with them, and at first, as you said, you were doing good, and when you finished, there was a lesson. And right now, mashallah, Abdulaziz, you are doing really good, right?
Alhamdulillah, yeah. Yeah, like I said, like there's a first for everything.
All of us, when we started at first, for
Of course,
anything, for
I
any
think
hobby.
it's normal to actually like fail in few steps and then win more. So you learn from your failures, you learn from your competitors, and it was your first time. So I think it's fine if you are last or second or third. It doesn't really matter. What matters here is that you actually participated in this event.
Yeah, and I actually, if I may add, like when I got last place, that just pushed me to like keep practicing and like do extra sets at practice. Tell my dad like, no, I want to keep practicing. I don't want to stop. You know, just pushed me to keep doing and like trying to be better every day, just consistently going at it.
Is that where you found the passion?
To be honest, I would say that is, and especially when I go to the club, I'm just like people saying hi to my dad and like just seeing his pictures everywhere. Just that also gives you a passion and a certain drive that you don't get from anywhere.
That definitely must be a good feeling when you see your father's picture all over the place and the times that he won, right?
course.
Of course, I think it's so motivational. And you have also a lot more competitions that you joined. So can you tell us which one was your favorite?
My favorite competition would have to be about a few months ago in March. It was 400-meter hurdles, and I'm coming into the race as the underdog. and it's my first ever gold medal, so it meant the most to me. And I just hung up the medal in my room, and I just hugged my dad and my coach, and just it was the best day of my life.
And look at the medal every day, okay?
Exactly.
Tomorrow or after 1 week, I will add one more medal. How many medals do you have right now?
Gold medals?
Around it. Yeah, anyway, any medal.
Too much to count.
Too much to count.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It must feel
you're getting cocky.
amazing.
That's okay. That's really interesting. So you have athletes, okay, that you know that they are famous in running, right? Athletes who runs and in long distance. Can you tell us your favorite runner that you love to watch every day?
That's a good question. My favorite runner, to be honest, Karsten Warholm. He's from Norway. He holds the record right now for the 400-meter hurdles, and it's just unbelievable what he does, and just how fast he does it, and just the efficiency, and just no words to put it.
I think that's very important to have someone to look up to, especially such athletes in sprinting and
learn,
running.
move from.
Of course. And we still have a lot more questions for you, Abdulaziz, but dear viewers, we will take a short break. Watch this report. Stay tuned.
Abdulaziz is a young athletic that enjoys his hobby of long-distance running. He has participated in many championships since he started. Abdulaziz was able to win the 4th place in the West Asian Championship that was held this year. Moreover, in 2022, Abdulaziz won the 1st place in the Preliminary Athletics Championship, and this year he was won the 2nd place in the General Athletics Championship.
Hello, I'm Abdulaziz Al-Harbi. I'm 21 years old, and I play the 400-meter hurdles. I've been playing since I was about 9 years old, and as you can see, today we are in the field. For those of you who don't know, track and field, the field is about 400 meters in length, and this is what I call my happy place. This is what I do after a long day. I come here to relax, run, and enjoy good times with my friends. And behind me, as you can see, is a hurdle. We have one today, and basically my sport, the 400-meter hurdles, consists of 10 hurdles. You run them. They're spread out in 400 meters, says the name. And the objective is to try to jump through 10 hurdles perfectly so you can get a good time and finish first place, of course.
Abdulaziz is eager to reach his goal. He's persistent and practices almost all of his time. He enjoys his achievements and tries to do his best always. Moreover, Abdulaziz appreciates the support of his friends who are always there for him to cheer. Abdulaziz has achieved many wins. He still aspires to achieve more. He works and practices many hours of the day in order to improve himself. Abdulaziz has won the 3rd place in the Federation Cup Athletics Championship in 2022. In addition, he has also won the 3rd place in the General Athletics Championship last year. Abdulaziz is very consistent into reaching his goal. He is always keen and eager to be the best he can be. He takes care of his athletics body in order to be fast during his races. He believes that a good and athletic body will help him reach his future goals. Abdulaziz also plans to win the 1st place in his future championships. He is proud of himself for achieving these medals and continues to work for more. Abdulaziz was able to overcome many obstacles that he faced. However, he never lets these obstacles to demotivate him in any way. He is always focused and consistent on his goals and dreams. We are proud of you, Abdulaziz, for achieving these medals and being able to win many championships. Keep it up, and you have done a great work.
Welcome back, our viewers, as we continue our interview with our wonderful guest. So, Abdulaziz, we get back to our questions, and we would love to know about what you do on your free time, your hobby.
That's a good question. Where do I start? What I do in my free time mostly is
Video games?
sometimes video games, maybe on an off day. But you'd always catch me studying, you know, catching up with university, hanging out with my family, hanging out with friends, just chilling in the house, you know. Maybe I'd go outside, play with my brothers, some football here and there, reading a book, playing chess. That's about it.
I think that's a very interesting way to spend your free time.
Especially the chess thing.
Yes, that
really
was very interesting.
Yeah. So also we would love to know about since you practice your free time in different things. Can you tell us when is the time that you love to practice for running?
Oh, practice for running. I'd have to say probably in the evening because as you know, the weather in Kuwait here, it gets hot like most of the day. So like the best time to practice is when the sun's going down or if you can, sunrise like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., you know, before you go off to work or you go off to university.
Yeah, that's really special time, especially on the place that we found on the report.
It looks
The place
like
is wonderful.
Yes,
The field is on an open area, just small houses, so you can see the sunrise or the sunset.
Of course.
So you have fans, you have fan base, of course. Maybe also members of the family. But can you tell us who is your biggest fan?
My biggest fan?
Yeah.
My mom, probably.
Oh, not your father? Okay, probably he's going to see this interview. So
He is, yeah. I might get in trouble for saying this, but
why then your mom?
my mom, because you know she always supports me, even though she always tells me to focus on my studies. But you know, like she always wants the best for me, and you know she knows what I'm capable of and what I can do. So she knows that if I keep practicing, you know, I can make it.
Yeah,
of
that's
course,
really sweet.
I think that's very important to have this kind of support from your family. And do you have that kind of support as a distance runner from your friends as well?
No, I'm just the black sheep. I'm the only one that's.
You're the only athlete.
Yeah.
I think
okay.
that's interesting. It can be hard sometimes, especially with your work schedule when it comes to training and school. So when you like catching up with your friends can be sometimes hard.
Yeah, but also when you said like you're like the black sheep, when you have that alone sport that you are doing solo in the family, that's a good thing. That means when you have medal, that's okay. We have a new medal in a new sport, and who got it? Abdulaziz. So that's a good thing in the family, right?
Of course.
Of course, it is nice to like have kind of I guess branched out. Like maybe someone's doing football, someone's doing sprinting, swimming. It's.
That's better than all of the family members that doing one thing, right? It's good that you have something in common, but it's not that good. Like maybe sometimes you get competitive, like who's the best and who's better in that sport, right?
I think they still do get competitive when they go to championships.
And
everyone's
also the medals
comparing
count.
like how many, of course, medals. I was just about to say that, but I think it's important like for a family to be like connected when it comes to sports. They all enjoy sports, but everyone's doing their own thing as well.
But also you have fears, right?
Not many, but yeah.
Yeah, we would love to know about your deepest fears as a runner.
Deepest fears.
Maybe getting injuries or losing at last again. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Injuries, it's the worst thing an athlete can go through in his professional career because it's a setback, especially after like putting in works, months and months of works, and just an injury you can't practice for however long the injury is. It's definitely the worst thing for an athlete. But other than that, finishing last, I wouldn't say really that's a fear because it depends on you. Like if you put in the work and if you practice, you'll see the results. But if you don't work and you don't practice, of course you're not going to make it, and of course your results is going to be last.
Yeah, but also you have many fears, right?
I think it's normal for like athletes or anyone really to have fears when it comes to even championships. Sometimes you can be like stressful before you begin the race. I think like you have this kind of little bit, you get a little bit anxious before the race and you want to win. Of course, everyone wants to win. So we have even your competitors, your companions in the championship. They're all good runners as well. So I think this is something like all of them usually fear. And of course, he puts all the efforts and work into it. So I don't think he have anything to be fearful about.
Yeah.
And it also depends on the athlete's mindset mostly because as you said, an athlete can feel anxious or stressed before a race, but you know, if you prepare yourself mentally and not just physically, like also sports, it's mental, sometimes more mental more than physical. So if you prepare mentally, like you should not fear anything.
Of course, I think that's a very strong point there. So where do you usually practice? Because we saw from your report, it's a big arena. So where do you practice?
It's the Athletic Federation field in Kaifan, or also sometimes in Qadsiya Club.
So
Of
can we come there, me and Fatma, and run?
I think it's only for runners, probably like long distance.
Yeah, we can come and try running,
No,
because
yeah,
the place is wonderful.
Maybe
It
we
looks
can make a
amazing.
few exceptions.
Maybe we have a picnic
Maybe we
at
could
the mid.
just like watch them run, watch their practice.
Or maybe
how they
have
do
some
it.
picnic at the mid of the field, you know.
Yeah,
there's
I think we
grass
would
and there's-
ruin
yeah,
their practice
at the
that way.
sunset or sunrise. I think it's wonderful.
That would be nice, yeah.
Yeah. So, and of course, we have also way more questions, but we will come back. So stay with us, ladies and gentlemen, as we come back for more and more.
The things a person has done make up his or her identity. One of the most important ways to measure your success is by looking at your most important accomplishments. Colleagues, competitors, and the general public can tell how successful a person is by looking at what they have done. Most of the time, it pays off to work hard. Most people think that having a lot to be proud is a sign of a successful life. When you finish a task, you beat problems or other people to achieve something. People have to work together to reach a difficult goal. If help is needed, everyone should be ready to pitch in and work together. There are many ways to reach a goal, but in the end, it's up to you to decide how it will affect your life. Some people want to be rich and well known on their jobs. Some people think that even small wins are good reasons to throw a party. We are all different, so we all think differently about everything. In the end, though, everyone wants to be happy, and everything you do in life will help you to get closer to that goal.
Welcome back, our viewers. So we continue our interview with our guest. So Abdulaziz, you have experience and you have long time. You've been practicing running, right?
Yeah.
We would love to know about your highlights and your best experience ever
My best experiences ever.
in running.
In running?
Yeah.
Only running, okay. Like I said, yeah, probably, you know, going to practice every day and just practicing with your dad, having your dad as a coach, it's the best experience an athlete can go through. And also my first ever gold medal, you know, it wasn't easy, but I put in the work and it paid off, alhamdulillah.
So do you think that you have achieved all your goals yet?
Definitely not, definitely not. Still so much more to go, and the best, inshallah, is waiting.
So-
Hopefully. We're
yeah.
very proud of your achievements so far, especially the last gold medal that you won. I think that's very impressive.
It is that you have a lot of medals. You have silver, right?
Yeah.
You have bronze.
So yeah, a few bronze.
You have gold.
Few gold, yeah.
What's okay? What's the more medals that you have? Is it gold or?
Mostly silver.
Okay, so you have gold, silver, mostly silver and bronze.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about this experience and how do you feel that you have all of these medals inside your room?
To be honest, you know, the medal is not worth anything unless you give it worth. So for me, like my bronze medals, just means that at the time I wasn't putting in the work, I wasn't putting in the effort, not enough practice. So like when I look at my bronze medals, I don't look at them and say, oh, like I'm disappointed in myself. I look at them and I see an opportunity where I could have done better, you know?
But you are the third, where there is more participants, more than 3, right? I mean, you weren't the last when you have the bronze. I mean, you are winning, actually.
He still, you still put all the effort. You did all that you had to do when it comes to training, being in the right mindset, as you mentioned earlier. You did all that you could do. I think this is an important thing to focus on more here, because you have a lot more races and even championships and events where you can even join and get a lot more gold medals. So you're just still in the early steps, and I think you will achieve much more.
Yeah, he's still young, right?
Yeah.
But you also participated in other countries, also in Asia, right?
Yeah, in Asia and Qatar.
What's your best country in Asia that you participated in?
Qatar, to be honest, it's just a beautiful country. You know, there's so much things to do and just so well organized.
Can you tell us more about that experience in Qatar, your race?
Well, it was my first ever international race, and it was very nice, but it was stressful to me, to be honest, in the beginning. But you know, I calmed myself down. I motivated myself. I told myself that I can do this. You know, I've put in the work. You know, like I deserve to be here, and I deserve to do the best I can.
Of course. And do you think, like, all these achievements, all these medals that you have, do you think they will push you to go for more goals, achieve for higher purpose? Like every time you win a gold medal or a silver medal, like you have this bigger potential to reach for higher?
Of course, yeah. And as you look at your medals, and as an athlete, your goals should also always be to the best, like the best competitions, the best races, you know. So you always push yourself, and you get a few goals here and there, but you'd always strive to maybe go to the Olympics, or maybe, you know, whatever it is, just the best, you be the best of the best.
So you have goals in the future. I mean, you didn't achieve your goal yet, as Fatma asked you and you answered, you didn't achieve it. Can you tell us your goal, your ultimate goal that Abdulaziz wants to achieve?
My ultimate goal, to be honest, would be, I think, the same for every athlete, is to make it into the Olympics, you know. It's like being in the Olympics, it's an honor, and it just shows that you're like one of the best in the world at something. So,
and it's really interesting. So if you go back in time and you have to choose a hobby again, or something, some field to have some achievements in, would you choose football?
No, to be honest, I would stick to running.
Stick to running?
Yeah.
And I think that if you stick to running also, I think that you have a really, really bright future. Don't you think so, Fatma?
Of course, I can tell, like, he's a very dedicated athlete, and he will have hopefully a very bright future. And
Yeah.
I have a question when it comes to running. Have you run with your dad?
Of course, yeah. I practice with him at times, but sadly, you know, he stopped running. But you know, in practice, we warm up together. We do some stretching.
Talk a little bit, have some chit chat, which is really wonderful.
Yeah, of course. And you know, having your dad as a ex-sprinter and like a professional sprinter, you know, it just gives you so much benefits, and you just have someone to look up to and just ask questions.
Really good. That's really, really good. But unfortunately, we're out of time. And but before we end, do you have anything else to say? One last thing, maybe to your father and your mother?
Well, I would say for the viewers to, if you have a goal, you know, never stop, keep pushing yourself, never be satisfied. And to my parents, my mother and my dad, thank you for everything you've done and for all the support that you've given me. And yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, Abdulaziz. It was really a lovely interview. We had so much fun, of course, but as Abdulatif mentioned, we have reached the end of our time. So dear viewers, we have learned so much about Abdulaziz. Hope to see you again in another episode. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.